Money in the Bank 2021. It's the return of live fans to WWE. What do you think? What do I think? Well, let's get it started. That's Alex and James, and I'm Chris from OPW Live. Like any good Fortune 500 company, we fired all of our staff to maximize our record profits. So, Alex, play our intro. You like that, right? I don't know. All right, Money in the Bank. I guess we're going to treat this more as a casual live, not live show, right?
Yeah.
So how you been?
I'm good. How you, man? Look at that. You brand new place, across the country.
I shipped up to Boston, so
you went exciting. Up to Boston. Boston. I can't do a Boston accent. I'm not gonna try it.
I'm not gonna try.
I'm gonna get.
Maybe it'll just.
You just gotta hang out over at the. Hang on a second.
Well, you're gonna be there for a while, so you'll naturally come and eventually after we do a couple more shows, you'll start getting that Bostonian accent.
Just go hang out at Harvard and you'll be fine.
All
right. So right now there are 6 matches confirmed for the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. So I figured we'll go ahead and predict them, run them down. Maybe throw in some surprises here or there. So let's start from the bottom and work our way up, which what I mean by is probably what's going to be the first match of the night, which will probably be one of the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. So we have Asuka versus Naomi versus Alexa Bliss versus Nikki Cross versus Liv Morgan versus Selena Vega versus Natalya and versus Tamina inside the Money in the Bank ladder match, which is not inside anything, but I felt like saying inside of Money in the Bank anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go down the line. James, 8 choices here. Who is Miss Money in the Bank from this field?
I mean, this is a hard one. I'm the way they've been going, though, I have a feeling that they probably were going to go with Alexa. Much as I love Asuka to get it, I don't think they're going to. I think the way they've been setting Alexa up, to have her as the Money in the Bank would probably work for her character. She can sit on it, and she could pop that out anytime. So the way the character was set, I think Alexa. I think the Alexa wins it, going creepy and everything, because they probably have her like vanish underneath the ring or something. She'll pop up in a mask or something like that. Fiend mask or something and take it. So then she can have her carry in the playground and, when she does all that and sit on it. She can sit on it for a while until they're ready to probably pop her back in. They want to do it. So I say Alexa Bliss on this one.
All right. Alex?
Right. Gosh, this is a tough one. I do want to quickly address the simple fact that Zelina's back. after everything we saw happen especially on the Twitters and stuff. It's like, okay.
Felt like the last time we were to get together, we were talking about getting fired. Or being released. Not really fired.
It wasn't really fired, it was released. It was more of, I never understood this. I think it was more of they I don't know. I mean,
she is one of the, in terms of like the wrestling personality, she's like the top earner on Twitch.
Yes.
So she didn't want to give that up. So who knows what's in the new contract.
If there's one thing I've learned about the releases so far, especially this year, so far, like a few of them have kind of turned out to be almost more renegotiations. Like just look at Samoa Joe. They released him, and he's in a new role in NXT. Well, I'm just saying, like in terms,
That one, I think that one was Triple H. I think that one they did it without telling Triple H, and he looked at it like, "What? What are you doing? What
you doing? No. We can't let AEW have
no. That's what I think. That one was. They released it, and then Triple H looked and didn't tell him, and he looked at it.
Because I gotta say, the IWC was salivating at Samoa Joe to AEW.
Yes, and
we got Malachi Black instead. So
I think his was more of just he just wants to work a little bit, and he's probably gonna come back later.
I mean, Malachi Black has always been consistent. Like he just wants to have matches on TV.
Yeah, he wants to have matches. I think his was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna work a little bit here, get some television exposure, and then after maybe a couple of months or something, 6 months his contract's out, he'll probably go back to the E. I bet you.
He signed a multi-year contract.
Yeah.
Well, he's like you said, he's gonna get some work. He'll be back. Watch, he'll be back. Because Selena's happy there. And he's married to her. So.
All right, Alex.
I was just killing for time because it's that hard to pick. But you know what? I think on this first match we're predicting, I'm gonna go with the out of left field picks, and I'm gonna go for Nikki Ash, almost a superhero. I'm gonna take a chance. They're taking a chance on a completely
I
new.
forgot to take her new gimmick when I introduced
No, you're
the
fine.
match. Whoops.
I'm gonna take a chance on the new gimmick and
I
go
did
with
it on
that.
purpose because I really
I
superhero
like
win,
it. We need
but
more
it
superheroes
just
in wrestling.
it just.
But that's just me.
I
No,
know,
I
but
have no problem
really
with
hate
it.
it.
I don't have a
I
problem
think.
with it.
I hate it.
I
Okay,
really
listen. The
don't.
main thing, for me, the main
But
thing about it is that it's something she wanted. It's something that she's clearly said, even in like interviews or whatever, that like this is something she wanted to do. I'm all for someone actually doing what they want to do. Whether or not it pans out, we need to give
yeah,
time to see. That's my opinion on it.
I mean, she wants to be on TV.
Well,
Like
I mean,
and doing something.
you're
yeah,
not
you gotta do
wrong.
what you gotta do.
I don't know if she
You gotta
wants
do what
this.
you gotta
Maybe,
do.
who knows?
But no, if
I hate it unless it involves her reverting to sanity, Nikki Cross, and aligning with Alexa. In which case, I'm all for it.
So yeah,
yes,
But it sounds like it's just going to be this for a while.
I would.
All right.
I would. If I was doing this, I would say again, if I was doing this, I would have her kind of deconstruct the superhero thing. But that's too subtle for them. I think
It's too subtle. No, it's too much storytelling.
I'll be too much.
All right, it's my turn to pick. I'm also going to go a little different. I'm actually going to pick Zelina Vega because if you're going to shell out the money that I'm sure you had to shell out to bring her back, since she's doing well in Twitch and stuff, maybe you bring her back because she's going to win. So I'm going to pick Zelina Vega because why not?
I mean, that's not a bad. It's not a bad choice. I
feel like I think the
that.
Money in the Bank will do better on SmackDown. I think because SmackDown's the bigger show now in terms of like ratings, you want to have the Money in the Bank on SmackDown. And it could just be, and she's someone who could cash it in quickly, whereas everyone else I think would hold on to it.
That is kind of true, but I still think I still think the better move would be just Alexa Bliss holding it for a little bit, and you can if they're trying to sell.
I'm going with WWE logic. We don't do the better move with WWE. We do the convenient.
I forgot about that. I forgot
the
about that.
convenient move.
Mine is actual logic that makes sense.
I know.
It's WWE logic.
Plus, I don't want to pick some. I would have picked Alexa Bliss if you didn't.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Hey, I will say, speaking of Fox and SmackDown, it's like we did touch on a little bit before we started, but like the fact that Fox got the show that is bringing back the fans, like tomorrow night, as of this recording, freaking SmackDown is the first show to have fans back. It's nice. Yeah. It's mostly scheduling, but yeah. Anyways. I think
the way that
exactly. But I think to your point, like it'll be interesting to see Money in the Bank on SmackDown.
It's gonna be very telling though.
Speaking of SmackDown, let's go to the next match in the card, which is the Raw Tag Team Championship match.
There's that WWE logic for you.
Did it? Yeah. But the next match on the card is the Raw Tag Team Championship match. The tag team champs AJ Styles and Omos defend their titles against the Viking Raiders. The Raiders have come back recently from injury.
Yeah.
I think it was Ivar, right? Was injured.
Yeah, Ivar. Remember, he broke his wrist. It was
something like that.
Thing. It was
one of them was injured, and then the other one got hurt in Raw Underground. It was weird, but they're back on TV, and they've just kind of been messing with AJ Styles and Omos.
Yeah, they just had the singles matches on the Raw.
So Alex, you're up.
Right. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to think. I will say, in all honesty, I feel like putting it's really hard. Like I remember we discussed this back at WrestleMania, like why they why would they put the titles on Styles and Omos. I think that experiment has kind of run its course by now, and frankly, I'm ready for the Viking Raiders to become tag champs. So they're my pick on this one.
Wow. I mean, you just kind of remind me of a Stark thing. Omos and AJ Styles won their titles at the beginning of April, and I think they defended them twice in the entire time. Once against New Day, and then once against Riker and Elias. Right.
Right.
And that was it.
They put the tag titles on a single star, a megastar at that, and his bodyguard, probably because they had nothing better to do with the titles. So now we have something better to do with the titles.
Honestly, if they were defending the titles, it was fine, but you could see that they're like trying not to use Omos in matches.
No,
and
exactly.
It's just been.
Well, yeah.
I actually like if there's anyone on the roster who could credibly take the titles from Omos, it might be the Viking Raiders, just because they're big and bad too. We've seen feats of strength from them, and if it's not them, who is it? Yeah, I think I'm going to pick the Viking Raiders. I think I'm going to pick the Viking Raiders as well. I know there's no reason to take the titles off of Omos and AJ because there's no reason for the titles at all. But I figured if it's not the Viking Raiders, then who at this point? Like, I don't think there is another tag team that exists currently that could, because we've seen like both members of the Viking Raiders like clothesline and knock down Omos in a way that no one has ever done before on Raw. Mm-hmm. So it might just indicate that they're the only ones who could do it. James.
You do have Rated RK Bro and everything.
I guess.
But they do not. But here's the thing: you can get the titles, but you'd rather have the titles on the Viking Raiders, so RK Bro could take it from them, other than Omos and AJ. That just looks better in that regard. I have to go with Viking Raiders too. But much as Omos has his first singles match, no. Here's the truth of the matter: Omos had his first singles match. This Raw, he won against Ibar, and they actually had AJ lose to Eric, or what's the other way around? I'm getting.
I don't remember. I don't remember either.
The AJ lost to him, so I think they're going with the point they're probably going to. It would be a smarter move to get those off them now and everything, and get back into the tag team again. And like giving them the Viking Raiders would work better because you can kind of then branch off Omos if they want to bring Omos as a singles and everything like that, or they want to put AJ back in. I know this has been a holding pattern for AJ. I don't know. They really don't have any. They really didn't have anything for him singles. Really?
Yeah.
I mean, he's not in the world title picture. He's not in what's Raw has the U.S. title. He's not in the U.S. title picture. He's kind of floating right now.
I don't know who the U.S. champion is because he hasn't defended it.
Sheamus.
I know. He defended it for the first time last week since WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Chris's thing about because he hasn't defended it is the only reason
I
knew.
So as we're coming back, with the fans, and everything, I think we want to try to get AJ back into singles again with the fans. So, yeah. So I say.
I feel like we're all going to get this wrong.
Raiders beat AJ, not Omos. I think AJ gets cocky, maybe tags out on Omos real fast, tries to get a win, and gets rolled up or something.
Well, yeah, AJ will always take the fall when they lose. Omos. All right, let's go to the next match on the card, and it's all Raw, really. The Raw Women's Championship match. That's kind of funny. Like, SmackDown's the better show, but there's like no SmackDown matches on the card.
Well, they're slow building.
Yeah, for some.
Yeah. So the Raw Women's Championship.
SmackDown is working towards SummerSlam. I think SmackDown show is working towards SummerSlam.
So the Raw Women's Championship, it is the champion Rhea Ripley defending against Charlotte Flair. You know, they've been feuding for, I guess, what seems like years at this point. And Rhea Ripley has been simultaneously face and heel during the feud for some reason. I don't know.
I don't know. This
It's fallen flat for me, but you know, we're not here to complain. We're here to predict, and it is my turn to predict. And I think Rhea Ripley will retain the title. I think the money match is probably Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is probably going to return sooner rather than later, especially with fans coming back. We might even, if there was like still a mystery entrant in the Money in the Bank, I thought maybe Becky Lynch would go ahead and win that. But you know, since there's not, I think she'll probably come back in time for SummerSlam. But I'm gonna pick Rhea Ripley. I think that's where the money is Rhea versus Becky rather than Charlotte versus Becky for the thousandth time. James.
Much as I like Rhea a lot, and I do like Rhea a lot and everything, you're right. This thing with Charlotte, it's been forced. They should have, after that last period, they should have had Charlotte run with somebody else for a little bit and come back.
You mean have feuds with someone who doesn't have a title?
Yes, you could have had that. I mean, it would have worked better. It would have kept them apart a little bit because their
people don't
WrestleMania
feud
match
unless
was
there's belts involved. I don't know.
The Backlash match kind of went, like I said, it's kind of fallen off a little bit because here's the problem. It's the booking wise. Really, Rhea should not be booked as a heel. She should have been booked as a face, especially against Charlotte. Charlotte can't be a heel face. I'm sorry.
They were just doing weird things. Like Rhea's still the face. I wasn't saying that. They were just
but she's acting heelish. It's too heelish. It's just like.
I know.
All right, but I will take the Alex role in this one. I already know what Alex is thinking. The hamster wheel is turning in Alex's head right now. I will take Charlotte on this one. I think Charlotte beats her. I think they're gonna have Charlotte finally beat her.
All right, Alex's hamster wheel.
James.
Yeah.
You're out here stealing my gimmick. Come on now. All right.
Yep. Yep. I'm still your game.
You know what?
You can agree with me. You don't have to go against me.
I
Agree
know
with
you're
me on
right.
this.
Is it possible for me to pick that neither person wins and they abdicate the title? I'm joking.
They had that. They had that last one. They had that last
You
one.
could pick that.
No.
But, I mean,
They
I don't
could
know.
do it.
I guess.
This
I
is
guess.
WWE. They could do a no contest.
I guess
I've seen them do it before.
I don't know. I
they tend to do no. They tend to do finishes on pay-per-views. They haven't seen it. Tend to.
No, you know what? No, for the sanctity of the predictions contest, I will pick a winner. I am actually also going to pick Rhea Ripley. I feel like it's funny because for all the joking that I've done in the past of making certain picks just to hope that they don't happen, in the back of my head I'm like it's always safest just to pick the champion to retain because you know. Yeah, because knowing my luck, Charlotte might end up winning the match, but via DQ or something, and so Rhea still retains it. So then it becomes then we get to have the conversation in the Discord about whether who gets the actual point.
Oh, this is time right here. This is time right here. Hey, I just got it. It makes sense. Becky comes back, calls Charlotte to win. Rhea retains the title.
I could dig that.
Becky Rhea's mad at Becky for causing her the win and everything because of you. I didn't win straight up and everything. Charlotte blames Becky. Then we got a three-way.
So just to clarify,
I don't think she's coming back tomorrow. I don't think she's coming back on Sunday. But
go ahead. Just to clarify, I'm picking Rhea Ripley. I just wanted to make sure that's evident and obvious in the mud of all the other stuff I've just said.
She may not come back Sunday. Right. She might come back Monday.
Right.
She might. Let's go ahead and pick the next. Maybe she's gonna join SmackDown. Like SmackDown's dead in the water too.
No, they picked SmackDown picked up the 3 girls from NXT. If they hadn't done that, I would have said yes, but they got them now, so I could see her going to Raw just because
Sasha and Bayley are both gone. Okay, let's go ahead. Next match. Next match would be the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. It is Ricochet versus John Morrison versus Riddle versus Drew McIntyre versus Big E versus Kevin Owens versus Shinsuke Nakamura versus Seth Rollins. They all qualified in matches. We saw Morrison surprisingly win. I don't remember what he won. I don't remember who he beat. And we saw the likes of Cesaro jobbing to Seth Rollins because Cesaro's pushes over. So, hey, James, you're up.
I said it before we started recording. I really, really hoping it's Ricochet. This guy is too talented to not.
Are you gonna make the bold move to pick Ricochet?
I'm picking Ricochet. I say Ricochet pulls off the spectacular move of the night, probably off that ladder, probably doing the Jeff Hardy, that 630 off the ladder, probably or something. That'd be crazy. Basically
off the ladder through another ladder.
Do another ladder rotation. He's probably going to do that rotation. But I still think Ricochet would be what I would like to see because then you can hold off a little bit. He can build some momentum. He is a future star. Just I wish they would get behind him because he's got all the tools. He looks great. He's great move. He can do a ground match. He can do high flying. He can do it all. It's just he's just lost in the shuffle, and this would be a chance to really get him out. So I say Ricochet.
Okay, Alex.
Right, so this is probably going to be my hope picking for the picks here, similar to the women's Money in the Bank. Which, by the way, I just want to take a second and address. Man, it almost feels disappointing to go back to actual ladder matches this year after the insanity of them battling at the corporate headquarters last year. It's almost disappointing.
Come on, you know what? I know people. I
like the
crapped on that. I like that actually. I kind of did like that. It was kind of fun.
I didn't like Dana Brooke grabbing the fake briefcase and making it look like an idiot, but the rest of it was cool.
So I liked it.
Anyways, that said, see, the other thing I'm just gonna say right now, I feel like the safe pick is Drew because I got this bad feeling that I got this feeling, I don't know if it's bad or not, but I got this feeling that given given the fact that Drew just lost the whole thing where like he had his last chance at the WWE Championship against Bobby Lashley, this would be the worker, like this would be the loophole for him. So that would be a safe pick. But you know
Yeah.
me, I don't like to do safe picks, especially when there's this many people
I thought
in a
about that
match.
too.
I'm actually gonna go with Big E. I think that this is an opportunity. Like
Not
we,
a
we,
bad
we
one.
talked, like the last time we talked, he was in the midst of a Intercontinental Championship run and his feud with Apollo Crews at the time. And I think that this would be an opportunity for him to transition up to the Universal Championship picture without necessarily immediately getting involved in the storylines currently going on with Roman Reigns. So I think so that my pick is actually going to be Big E for this one.
Okay. I agree with you that Drew McIntyre is definitely a safe pick as a way to get him another chance against Bobby Lashley, because we really really love these rematches in WWE. They love them so much. I saw a crazy stat on Twitter that 50%, 57% of Raw's matches in the last 6 months have been rematches of previous matches on Raw.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So, but anyway,
It's like
I
talk
don't
about
get down
spinning the
there.
wheels.
And then, so Drew McIntyre, I think is a
Mhm.
safe pick. I think Big E is the obvious pick because they have given Big E the singles push. Okay, we took the Intercontinental title off him. Like that's the next step to getting someone the Money in the Bank. We see it all the time. My pick, however, because I'm thinking like, what did we do last year? Right? We picked, we all made our picks and we all made sensible picks, and then Otis won the Money in the Bank ladder match. Now he didn't ultimately keep the briefcase. They decided to put it on Miz. They didn't give it to him.
Ooh.
But I'm thinking in that vein that the person who's going to win the Money in the Bank ladder match is someone who has just kind of been on the peripheral of storylines for the last year, but also someone who is going to please the crowd. And so I'm picking Shinsuke Nakamura. I think him celebrating with his music and getting the crowd to sing along, I think WWE is really going to want that. With Nakamura sitting on top of the ladder and the crowd going whoa, whoa,
that would be nice.
Because then because that's the kind of clip that WWE will play forever. So I'm gonna pick Shinsuke Nakamura for those reasons. Plus he's a great worker. Like he's a credible main event.
Yes, he is.
Shinsuke versus Roman Reigns would be a cool feud. And they've been building him back up with Rick Booz and putting him over Corbin over and over again. So yeah, Shinsuke Nakamura. All right. The next match of the card is the first of two championship matches, and it is Bobby Lashley defending his WWE Championship. Or is he got? No, yeah, he's the WWE Champion against Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, Kofi.
So, Alex, you are up first.
So I had to ask myself, are we going to get Kofi Mania in 2021? And I immediately responded to myself with a resounding no. My pick is Bobby Lashley. I think it's great. I genuinely think it's great just to see Kofi getting another title shot. Like, and frankly, I would in my heart, it would warm my heart so much to see him win the title again. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I just have this feeling because like we kind of touched on it elsewhere, but like there's been the rumors circulating that a certain former WCW and Universal Champion is about to rear his bald head back in WWE now that the fans are coming back. And the rumor is that he's going to be potentially facing Lashley. So I have a feeling he's going to be kind of inserted back into that title picture. So yeah, I got to go with Bobby Lashley to retain.
Yeah, I think the fans will get what they get with the Money in the Bank, whether Big E or if Shinsuke wins, the live fans. Because I had thought about it, like, doesn't WWE want a feel-good moment, Kofi Kingston winning in front of the live fans? But then I remember, Kofi Kingston didn't have his championship reign during the quarantine. He had it the year before, or 2 years before, this point, right? Yeah. So 3 years ago. He had it in front of fans. He had it at WrestleMania. They don't need
the only reason
to
repeat Kofi Mania is to almost make up for him dropping the belt to Brock so quickly.
And honestly, I think I kind of made up for him by having him, feud for the title and not just get a one-off match like, and he's feuded, and I think he's been excellent in the feud. Like Kofi's underrated on the microphone for me. Like I think he's just so genuine that every time he talks, I'm glued to the TV. With that said, as much as I want Kofi Mania, as much as I dream of Kofi Mania, Lashley Mania retains. James?
Well, you guys all said it all. I like Kofi a lot. I would love for him to win, but this is not the right time. He's especially just the whole.
I mean, it's the right time, but he's not going to win.
No, I mean, this really is not the right time. We have SummerSlam coming up. There's a lot of you can do off that. Much as I'd love to see him win, he's not going to win it and everything like that. So it's Lashley, and because right now that pivots into a couple opportunities they want to go that route.
All right.
Hopefully they could get Brock, but
in the final match of the
Brock
night,
with that ponytail.
Brock with the ponytail, I love it. Yep. See those images. Final match of the night is, of course, the main event. It's always the main event, and that is the Universal Champion, the head of the table, Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, defending his title against Edge. And I'm up first. So this one I actually have to think about because, WWE loves Edge. They love him so much. I'm almost surprised they didn't put the title on him at WrestleMania. Almost. But maybe they decided because there was still going to be a couple of months of pandemic stuff to not. So there is this nagging part of me that thinks, okay, this is what the show's going to end on. We're going to end it on Edge winning the title in front of the fans. But I don't know. I'm not. Like, we've gotten to the point where I'm not sure Roman Reigns will ever lose. I think he'll just retire with the title, Like, that's who he is, and I think that he might even be the right decision at this point. I don't know. No, I think Roman's on a collision course with Big E at some point in the future, so I'm going to pick Roman Reigns to retain. James?
You know what I thought before we.
You know what's nice about this one? It's the first time in a while that I've had to think about who might win the title.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have that against Cesaro when he defended against Cesaro. We certainly did not have that against Rey Mysterio.
I'm the one that thought about it, and I said it before, and it is my thought again. Reigns is at the peak where he needs a rival. He doesn't have that now. He doesn't have that. He is, he's the bad guy. He's the top of the heap. But every bad guy needs that hero to fight.
Well, I guess the point I was making is I feel like this is the first time since WrestleMania where we think he could possibly lose the title.
Yeah, Edge fits that role. You can give it to Edge. Edge beating him would feel good. He doesn't really lose anything if he loses to Edge because then you can show him next SmackDown he's pissed off. He goes crazy. He starts tearing stuff up and comes back at Edge later. They can do that. So, but they're not going to. Roman Reigns retains it again. And I hate to say it, but I think, like I said, they're building towards SummerSlam. They're either going to do the John Cena thing or they're going to do or like that. So much as I would love Edge to win, and this is a good time for Edge to win. It'll be perfect. It's Roman Reigns. I'll say Roman.
Alex?
Right. So I want to start off by pointing out, the last time we thought that there was a chance that Roman would lose, if I remember correctly, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I think all three of us assumed that either Edge or Daniel Bryan would end up winning the title at WrestleMania, and that the idea was that Roman wouldn't have, because he wasn't gonna be pinned or whatever, that he would have a stake in coming back. Except that he literally stacked and pinned both guys, and then I think that left the three of us being like, well, guess we were wrong about that.
Well, he's never losing the title, right?
I mean, and that's fair. I do think that Edge winning the title, I think Edge winning the title would be a good feel-good moment. But I think that's gonna end up happening at SummerSlam if it happens. That said, I've actually prepared a short little tune for my pick. On this day, I see clearly Roman Reigns is still the champ. So yeah, I'm gonna still. So I'm gonna pick Roman Reigns to retain here.
All right. I guess I'll throw up a tiebreaker question.
Yeah, because we may end up being tied.
I'm gonna throw a
Go ahead.
tiebreaker question up there. You know, it was only 6 matches. We could pick the Smackdown Championship match because I'm sure that's gonna happen on the pre-show, but it hasn't been confirmed yet. Instead,
I thought
The
it could be
SmackDown Women's
probably,
Champion is tomorrow
substitute
night.
women's. Yeah.
I mean,
'Cause-
so there is.
Oh, it's tomorrow night.
the tag title.
Oh, the tag
is what I
title.
said.
Fair,
tag
that's
title.
true. You're right.
That's probably gonna go in the pre-show, but we're not gonna predict that. Instead, we're just gonna say one surprise return for the live crowd. James.
I'm telling you, I say that, and you guys are all laughing at me. Oh, she's gonna be back. I say Becky. I'm telling you, I think she makes the appearance on the pay-per-view live crowd. She makes the appearance on the pay-per-view live crowd, and she probably is be factored into that Raw Women's title thing. I don't know if she's gonna call someone a love. I say Becky Lynch. I really do.
Alex.
I can dig that. This makes me glad that this kind of makes.
Tiebreaker.
Oh
though, yeah,
no.
different.
This, you know what this makes me glad for is that this makes me glad that I didn't say his name earlier, because now I can say his name now. Goldberg. I think Goldberg's coming. But I genuinely see that being the thing. So I'll go with that for this.
Becky and Goldberg are pretty obvious. Maybe go out in left field. I think we see another return of Daniel Bryan.
Oh man, that would be nice.
Live crowd's back. Get the yes chance going. You know, maybe he'll come back at Roman and Edge, and we'll do that again at SummerSlam and have that match in front of the live fans again.
And we'll be right back at square one saying, "Oh, maybe Roman won't even get pinned for."
Yeah, and then we'll be back. Yeah,
that's the cycle.
Roman, you make a triple threat.
What a great way for us to come.
I'm gonna pick Daniel Bryan.
He's gonna have to.
Okay.
Pick Daniel Bryan to come full circle. He'll screw over Edge again for some reason.
He'll be like, I came out of. He'll be like, I came out of a second retirement just to go after the Universal Championship.
Maybe it's just to spite Edge because Edge spited a couple times before WrestleMania. All right, yeah, I'm picking Daniel Bryan. All right, so with that said, those are our predictions. We'll see what happens on Money Bank on Monday or Sunday night. Wow, Raw's on Monday. Tomorrow, SmackDown with live fans. That should be something to watch.
Like I said, I'm about to watch that. Usually,
it's not pre-recorded like the last 3 weeks.
No, that's what I said. So we'll have to check this one out.
And I think we have I saw rumors that the WWE draft's coming up after SummerSlam. So
I think they're going. Yeah, I think they're resetting. That's what I said. That's what I said.
We should see a reset very soon.
Which makes it all the more fun that they randomly brought in people from NXT on at least on SmackDown. I was like, oh, okay, cool. You brought them back. Now we're gonna do the draft and.
Yep. All right.
That's why I was wondering.
Yep. So this has been fun. It's been good to get back together and to know that the audio is actually working this time. Heaven knows the last time we tried to do one of these we had that problem. So it's nice to be back. So this has been OPW. Abbreviated outro. So I think pending any tech issues or any other issues, we will hopefully be back live after Money in the Bank on Sunday, where we will be hanging out on the Twitch discussing what went down at Money in the Bank. But until then, you can check out everything Occupy Pro Wrestling at occupyprowrestling.com. You can check out everything on the socials related to OPW at Power2 the Smarks. And until Sunday, until the next time we hang out and chat wrestling, talk about what went down at Money in the Bank, I have been Alex at Alex Miley Plays on the Twitch. Chris has been Chris at T-Bone is Live on the Twitch. James has been James at JJ Titandog70 on the Twitch. And we'll catch you guys on Sunday. Hope you all enjoy Money in the Bank.